Birmingham.
We will see, and the tip is controlled by the Tigers of Texas Southern.
Nicholas getting the start today. John Walker III coming off the bench. They sometimes flip-flop who starts in that position.
Jonas James swatting the ball away. Good strong defense from Jackson State early on.
Yeah, Jackson State was a title contender last season.
Henry trying to get his team to set up something offensively. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Henry, baseline. Doesn't connect, but the rebound goes back to Nichols. He misses, but the putback again. Back and forth we go, but Texas Southern able to get second and third chances.
Well, that front line, there's no really one star who jumps out with you stats head and shoulders above the others because they're so deep and they're able to spread those numbers around. But don't underestimate Bryson Gresham. This guy played at U of H. He was on a Final Four team, and he is the leading rebounder and shot blocker here for Texas Southern.
13 seconds on the shot clock. Lawson misses it, but there he is coming out of nowhere. McKinnis, three-time defensive player of the year. He's like Batman.
He's probably the most exciting rebounder in the SWAC. It just is impressive the way he comes down with the ball.
He's Dennis Rodman without the hair and the earrings. Evans.
And a lot of other things.
Well, that too. I didn't want to go that deep into it.
I didn't know where to start. I'll just leave it at and a lot of other things.
Henry trying to get his team going on the scoreboard. No score here in the first 2 minutes, but as soon as I say that, Bryson Etienne with the easy two.
Yeah, Etienne has really come along with his offense late down the season. Had a point in the season early on he was struggling with his confidence, but he turned things around by stepping up his defense. Now one of the top all-around players here for Texas Southern.
James hits the baseline with his foot, and out of bounds it'll be Texas Southern basketball.
McKinnis ending out his season, his career at Jackson State. First team All-SWAC selection, another Defensive Player of the Year award. He's really provided a lot of highlights for the Tiger fans over the years.
No doubt, and low lights for teams that go to Jackson. Henry now with less than 10 seconds on the shot clock. Got to move. Gets it inside. Oh, nice touch, but didn't fall. Once again, McKinnis with the defensive rebound.
Yeah, Gresham set a solid screen, top of the key, rolled to the bucket, got the pass, just wasn't able to get it to go. And when Gresham sets a screen on you, a screen has been set.
No doubt about it. Like a moving brick wall.
And there's two brick walls down there as he's defending McKinnis off the ball.
James gets a shot off this time, misses everything. McKinnis right there, another rebound, and he is fouled. Just a ticky-tack one there by Gresham.
Yeah, ticky-tack with a lot of muscle. Ticky-tack to them. That would have put me and you on the floor.
Brontosaurus ticky-tack.
You see them battling for the board here. McKinnis going up strong, drawing the foul. I tell you, if you ever go to places, the Y or wherever, you see these two on the court, you sit that one out.
Okay. You go work out.
Yeah, and you come back when they're done.
McKinnis connects on his first free throw attempt. And the Tigers of Jackson State on the board.
See the Texas Southern Tigers cheerleaders there in the building, made the trip from Houston. McKinnis from Pearl, Mississippi. I spent the night in Pearl once. I have a little southern geographical connection. I can't let you just know all the little towns here.
Right outside of Jackson. Henry tries to find an open man and does. A.J. Lawson couldn't connect. Loose ball again. James gets it batted away. A scrum for the basketball. And Gresham is at the bottom of the pile, but it is a jump ball.
Yeah, they tried to get that break started. It was just missing one key thing, the basketball.
Do you remember the days when they used to just let you pull it out?
Those days aren't coming back.
No, they can't have that.
We'd have more than sweat on the floor.
No doubt about it.
We'd have some teeth down there.
James to bring it up. Still tied at 2.
Yeah, Jonas James, he's an experienced floor leader for this team. He was a part of that team that came up just short last year.
Both teams like new shoes, stiff and unyielding. You got to dance around, work it in. McInnis trying to work under the rim. He hits the bottom half of the backboard. Loose ball. Now Texas Southern's on the move.
Yeah, got stuck on the foam there.
And that pass really doesn't go the way Nichols wanted it to go.
Yeah, Gresham was preparing himself to box out, so he was in a low kind of squatted position and then found the ball just sailing over his head there.
2 turnovers early on for Texas Southern. Evans strong on the inside. Nice teamwork there with the easy 2.
It all started
Lewis.
with Evans reversing direction there. Everybody thought he was going right. Quick crossover back to the left. Caught the defense off guard. Hit his open teammate under the bucket.
Carr doesn't get it to go. Go back into it. And a swat right there by McInnis. That's the 3-time defensive player of the year in the SWAC.
And that's what we promised you would see when those two face each other down in the paint.
Henry just can't get it to go, and McInnis once again with the rebound.
It's the effort and the energy. It's expended by those two early on. Nicholas and McInnis under the rim.
Lewis doesn't see anything he likes, and they're going to give it right back to James to try to set something up with 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Lewis with the interesting full sleeves here today.
And good strong rebound by Etienne, and he'll bring it up. Nicholas trying to create against McInnis. Nice spin move. Hits the front side and doesn't go. Rebound Jackson State.
Yeah, Nicholas is getting the looks, but just can't quite get him to go, whether it's the defense or of McInnis or just not being able to get it to go. It's a quick pace here, but not a lot of shots falling.
So it's like new shoes. Stiff and unyielding. Neither team wants to give up anything. Lewis misses it on the easy 10-footer. Henry going to work his way
to beat. Then it was Texas Southern took control of their destiny, and Alcorn State was just sitting there the whole time, kind of in the cut, if you will, and made their move at the right time. And there they are, the regular season champs.
Henry makes 1 of 2, trailed by 1. Dylan Taylor, new point guard in for Jackson State. McInnis, high, loses it when he brings it down low. Etienne gets the loose ball. Now has control and kicks it back out to Lawson.
They just fumbled that ball forward the entire way down.
High is Rosas.
He is an aggressive player for Texas Southern on that front line. First shot didn't go. He just pulled a little Moses Malone out of his bag. Just get it up there. Doesn't go. Get it again.
No doubt. Now Texas Southern up by 1.
Etienne aggressive on the perimeter with the hands.
And an offensive foul against Jackson State.
Robs the fan of the what would have been the first power dunk of the game. Good penetration, but the body control. And there's Rosas. He was aggressive on one end, discipline on the other, drawing the charge here. He took that with all of his chest. See John Walker III now in the game.
Along with Jordan Gilliam, who's handling the ball early on, gets it over to Etienne. Walker with the right hand, great body control for John Walker.
Coming off the bench immediately, letting his presence be felt on the court. Shot looks, when you're so long and gangly, sometimes those shots look kind of awkward because he can go at an angle and a distance that other people can't, but he gets it to go.
He can see what you can't see from up high in the sky. Lewis misses his shot attempt, and loose ball touches both bodies up to the official. And it'll stay Jackson State basketball.
Yeah, McInnis is looking. He's reigning defensive player of the year on the SWAC first team, but this will be as challenging of a front line as he'll face all season. Deals with one, they just rotate, bring somebody else in.
McInnis gets the inbound. Nice strong move by Kevin Evans Jr., redshirt freshman, able to get on the board.
And the defense has to be careful on their rotation because if too many people roll over to the ball handler, you leave McInnis wide open down on the block for a potential alley-oop or putback. So when you have that type of weapon with a rim runner like McInnis, it keeps the defense honest.
Roz has lost that ball, but Texas Southern retains possession after two Jackson State players went to the floor for it. Rosas gets it now, kicks it back over to Gilliam. Lawson looking for a way in. He finds one, and a nice lay-in by A.J. Lawson.
Yeah, Lawson had a chance to call a couple of their games this year. When you need a bucket, he does not mind putting his head down and going to the basket with the intention to score and nothing else.
Grad transfer from McNeese. Now James trying to answer. Gets in the paint and does for two.
Yep, playing on the big stage in Birmingham. Not the first rodeo for James.
Etienne is long on his shot attempt, and now here comes Evans in transition, trying to go in the paint to find something. Passes up a shot opportunity for James for three. McInnis put back in the dunk. Javius McInnis.
And there's the moment already. And there may be more to come.
No doubt.
I mean, Nicholas takes a breather, and John Walker III comes in.
Not missing a beat.
At all.
Walker gets it over to John Jones, Johnny Jones' son.
And he can light it up from the outside.
Rosas. Jumper is good. Yahuza Rosas.
He leaves the hand in the cookie jar. He leaves the form up on the way back down court. It feels good when the big man hits the jumper.
Trying to go inside of Jackson State. They find a hole, and Jamarcus Jones gets his first points of the afternoon.
And a little mini shake. Nice up and under there. As the Jackson State teammates cheering him on from the bench.
Rosas underneath, easy. The backdoor cut is something that Texas Southern does very well.
Yep, big man with great hands. Little head and shoulders, let the defender fly by. Easy layup.
Still 1-point game now in favor of the Tigers of Texas Southern. Evans ran out of real estate. Hicks now. Darius Hicks with his first points of the evening.
Talk about frontline muscle. Hicks coming into the game, showing his moves.
Walker, wiry, and able to get to the rim, and he'll shoot two.
You're sitting at home saying, man, Hicks looks like he could be out there with Deion Sanders and the rest of the football team. 6'8", 235.
Now, we'll give you a pass because you do a lot of basketball, but it's just Coach Prime.
You know.
First one is good from Texas Southern. Rosas will get a rest.
Hicks played on this team last. A lot of key personnel back from a team that's not seated as high as it was last year, but an experience still on the court for the Tigers.
McInnis again with the rebound. for three. Oh, it goes in and out. Rebound Texas Southern, and they're going to push it. Jones going to kick out. Walker for three, and it's good.
It's a good day. It's a great day for the Texas Southern offense when Walker can nail a three for you. Off the penetration from Jones, who is one of your top three-point shooters.
No doubt. McKinnis now going to defer back to James. And another big dunk by McKinnis.
Penetration and dish. And McKinnis says, who wants to be on my poster? Just please jump, please.
Walker says, if you do two, I can do three. Another three-pointer for Walker the third.
Yeah, Walker wasn't happy about being in the vicinity of that dunk the last time. He gets his space back with a three-pointer, 2 in a row for him.
Lead expands to 4 for Texas Southern.
I think both teams are settled in now.
Yes, the shoe has loosened. Now we can dance.
Got a few wrinkles on the toe.
There you go. James jumper right inside the three-point line, and now Jonas James is starting to feel it, the senior from Jackson.
Yeah, gave him the little stink face coming back up court. He just took a step inside the three-point line. He needed to see one go in. Heat check.
Walker, heat check. Yes, you're right. That one just hit the front of the rim. And now let's take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Buick.
Yeah, Jackson State, you want to control the boards. That's a big front line that you're going against. Texas Southern, top rebounders in the league. As we see another three here. Jackson State's offense last in the SWAC. They cannot afford a drought here today. And McKinnis and crew, second chances are huge for them. Texas Southern, top defense, want to avoid foul trouble. Nichols often finds himself in foul trouble and close out the game. They have lost some close ones late in the season. To a big win here in Birmingham. Maybe all the way till Saturday. We'll have to see.
No doubt, not being Mr. Human Resource, but when you combine those years, high school and at Jackson State, well over 30 years of public service to the state of Mississippi.
He won't be sitting in a rocking chair anytime soon. He's got plenty of sparks still left in him.
James gets it high. Taylor for three, hits the rim, and a rebound coming down for Gilliam. Gilliam now trying to find his space, goes inside. Not the right angle, but that's the right angle. Nice pushback and a point for Texas Southern.
He can hit those shots at the craziest of angles. So showing that he can get it done around the rim and from behind the line. That's John Walker, the third. So you have to tell Coach Brent, do not try to make a career as a color analyst for the SWAC. I might not be here next year.
McKinnis, I think you've got some equity in the company. There you go, a nice shot by McKinnis. And he's doing it well offensively and defensively.
Yeah, that guy, man, he just, look at those arms, man. We talked about wingspan in the first game. He's already 6'7". 6'7", long, lean, and tough.
So moves like turkey wings. Those are big turkey wings right there. Nice back off of the face of Jones. And Gilliam gets it with less than 10 seconds on the shot clock, shooting a three. Rolls off the rim. Rebound, Jackson State.
To get the extra effort there to pull down that defensive board. Terrence Lewis, the complimentary role to J-Mac, as they call him, McKinnis. I'm still wondering if Lewis gets hot with those long sleeves, man.
He may want to be hot. Now Lewis backing in. Rebound strong by Gresham. Gresham, jumper a little bit too strong. McKinnis right there with another rebound.
Had some back and forth action here. Jackson looking to slow the tempo just a little bit here as we get down to the last 5 minutes of the first half.
McKinnis, nice spin move using the right hand, and he's fouled. Go to the line and shoot two.
Let's give him all of his flowers. There was a crossover before the spin.
Yeah, true.
I mean, McKinnis saying, I'm not just the guy down on the block. Let me show you some handles here. He starts off with the crossover, and then you see the spin there. Spins away and draws a little contact for Gresham. Pride of Pearl, Mississippi at the free throw line.
Great career at Jackson State. Decided to stay close to home and go to the urban campus of Mississippi.
Marshall rolls off the front of the rim. Just needed a little more arch on that one.
Gresham gets a rest. Etienne back in for Texas Southern.
See the wear of the game on McKinnis's face. I won't say he's tired, but you can tell he's put out an effort here in the first half.
No doubt. So far, Texas Southern 15 of 22 with points coming from the bench.
Nicholas back in the game. In the post, double team.
And he gets a rebound, trying to keep it alive, but loose ball now goes to Lewis.
Yeah, Nicholas really needs to see one of those shots go down. He's had some looks, but they've been hard to come by.
Taylor trying to create something. Ball gets knocked away, and now off and running is Hopkins. And he is fouled on the floor, and that foul be called on Darian Wilson.
Not a bad foul there because Hopkins, he had the angle to the basket. See off the turnover here, they reach in. Was he in front of him when he fouled him? Was he behind him? They're not going to call a clear path. It was a close one, but he knew that. He knew where the advantage stood. That was going to be 2 points for Texas Southern minus the foul. And look, probably awesome.
And Hopkins will inbound it for Texas Southern. Trailing by 2.
Hopkins, also another one of those savvy veteran guards for this Texas Southern team.
Henry in traffic against McKinnis and does the smart thing and gets the foul. And McKinnis can't believe it. He's like, no, I didn't foul him. I could show you a foul, but I really didn't. Come on, I didn't foul.
Oh, he saw those long arms of McKinnis and said, if I can just get into them.
Yeah.
Almost like that swing through that you see a lot in the NBA. If that arm is out there, just run into it.
Henry misses the first. Still trailing by 2.
So we got some Jackson State faithful right behind us. I heard my first ball don't lie of the afternoon.
Henry connects on the second. Now they trail by 1.
Tell you, wherever there's a Jackson State team playing, there will be some fans. They are one of the best when it comes to traveling in the SWAC. They like to show up and support their teams.
Up 1.
We got Nicholas and Walker on the court together here. Walker didn't get the start, but it's a big bucket since he's been in the game. A couple of scoops around the basket and a couple of three-pointers as well.
James looking for someone in less than 5 seconds on the shot clock. Got to do something. Evans trying to find a shot. Does and connects in desperation. The jumper goes for Ken Evans.
Dramatic but efficient.
Lead expands to 3.
This has just been a back and forth game with so much action. Haven't even looked a lot at this. Not the end of the world. Let's play on.
Well, you know when you're the tournament champs, everybody's gunning for you. Etienne with less than 10 seconds on the shot clock. Fights off the double team. Rosas shoots the 3. Misses. Rebound. Jackson State.
Man, the action between Hicks and Nicholas under the paint that time. The ball didn't go down there, but those two were going at it, fighting for position.
No doubt. Taylor. And lets the ball go. Loose ball. Jackson State holds on to it. Hicks now. Less than 10 seconds on the shot clock. Goes inside. And a hard foul by Rosas. But to count the basket and one more.
Good pass by Hicks.
Ken Evans with the basket.
So Hicks had lost his dribble. He was looking where to go. Finds it right there on the backdoor cut. Good finish by Evans.
And he's a redshirt freshman. The future is bright for this young man.
And that's key, finishing with the left hand, the ability to do that on the left side of the bucket. Put your body between the ball and the defender. Chance for three the hard way.
Jackson native gets one more on the board.
Yeah, Evans is, he's not light in the back pockets either. 6'5", 200. That's just as a freshman.
Yeah, no doubt. Henry's now got to try to help his team try to rally here to cut this lead down. Nicholas doesn't see anything he likes. And that jumper doesn't go. Jackson State gets the rebound. Now they have a chance to extend their lead.
Haven't seen. Let's see.
And Taylor says something is on the ball. Charles Fisher.
I was looking. It's not blood. It's just a little moisture on the ball.
And our officials today: Joe Wilbert, Winston Trotter, and Trent Dews. Evans inbounds. Taylor now, and Jackson State has hit 6 of their last 8 shots. Trying to finish the half strong.
McKenna's back in after getting a breather. See if they can get him a touch here, but the shot clock's winding down.
Evans got to make a shot. Gets it over to Jones, and it goes in. Great job by Jones.
So the Jackson State offense seems to be shoot the ball with 1 second remaining on the shot clock. That's their plan.
Rosas now will get it up back to Nicholas. Henry took the high pass, able to secure it. Now they're just trying to work the clock and find an open shot.
Euro.
Wow, McKenna says, no, I'm not having it. Get it out of here.
Euro and then deported.
Lawson had nowhere to go fast, and McKenna shut that door quick.
Yeah, that was a volleyball spike there. Nice move, but McKinnis, with that wingspan, his ability to recover, greater than average.
Etienne, three-pointer going away. Great job by Etienne.
And he earned all 3 of those. That was a tough shot, but he got it to fall.
When they move fast and flow, they're able to get their shots off and have a better shot opportunity. Taylor now with right at a minute to go.
Yeah, Jackson State is really taking advantage of using the shot clock. Texas Southern wants the more up-tempo action on their end.
Marcus Jones can't get it because Rosas is right there to agitate him. Tips out of bounds, Texas Southern basketball.
We have the battle in the stands. Texas Southern to our left, right behind us. Jackson State to the right. I love the atmosphere here early on.
SWAC tournament. Can't get any better.
I'll tell you, I love the SWAC. There's no buys. We just start out of the gate. Everybody's playing.
Rosas, nice one.
I don't want to call it an upset because they beat A&M before, but if you just look at the numbers, it was an upset, but a good, exciting game there, and we got the same thing right here.
Less than 20 seconds to play. Taylor gonna hold it for one last shot. Dylan Taylor, can he be the shot maker for Jackson State? And he is. Great shot. Less than 5 seconds on the clock. Henry. And it game of the day.
And the Jackson State players kind of acknowledging their fans, clapping in their direction. Let's see if that energy will turn into results here
on the court starting the second half.
Etienne finds Lawson. That three doesn't go. Put back by Nicholas doesn't happen. And there's McInnis again with another rebound.
Nicholas has had 2 shots that might have been dunks on anybody else in the conference, but against McInnis, man, even your best cannot be enough against that guy.
James waiting his time, goes in, and he throws it to no one. Looking for a foul, but didn't get one.
Well, the officials aren't going to reward him because when he released that ball, he wasn't even looking at the basket. He was already looking in the direction of the official. Look here, he goes up. His head isn't even facing the rim. So they're going to say that was a wild shot. We're not going to bail you out.
I think he was looking for the magic basketball shot. I don't look, and it still goes in. Lawson goes up once again against McInnis, and he's like, I'm not having it. Didn't I do it last time?
You cannot shoot into the body of McInnis with the ball. You're going to have to go a little deeper in your bag of tricks to get something over McInnis. He'll eat that all day.
With sauce or without.
that was rice pudding for McInnis right there.
Rice pudding. McInnis strong. And foul on the floor.
Let me apologize. Rice dressing.
There you go.
I'm messing up your vernacular.
Yeah,
not rice pudding. Rice dressing.
That's like a New York thing. Who eats rice pudding in the South? You have bread pudding, yes.
See,
but not rice pudding.
McInnis, even with he missed the shot, he still was going to be first to the ball. He went around his defender after he shot the ball. Just went around him. He was already in position to rebound that ball.
Evans gets double teamed. Defers, goes through the leg. He gets it back. Jumper hits the backside of the rim. Now going the other way, A.J. Lawson gets it to Henry. Henry hits the rim, goes down. Good rebound by Gresham to keep it alive. Spin move by Nicholas. And he's fighting his own teammate, doesn't know it. Tries to get it back, and he still can't get it to go through. But he'll go to the line shoot too.
You have to appreciate how hard Nicholas has worked for these shots not to be falling for him. He's not holding his head. He's giving you the same effort. And I mean, he's point blank. But when you're point blank and you still have to go through McInnis, it can be a tough day at the office.
And first one goes through.
He's been 0 for 5 in the game. These have all been shots in the paint. So those are his first points of the game, but it's not because of a lack of activity.
Jamarcus Jones in for Terrence Lewis Jr. And now Nicholas will shoot his second free throw. The Jackson State faithful still doing their taunting and cheering. Doesn't take the focus away from Nicholas, who makes the second.
So you got Nicholas and Gresham anchoring that front line here. Walker on the bench, not starting the second half, but he's shown that he can come in and provide some firepower. Almost a steal there.
James goes in the traffic, and he's fouled. He'll shoot two, and Nicholas can't believe it, but that foul was called on Gresham. And Gresham's like, wait a minute, what? It's on me.
This is one of our keys. We talk about avoiding foul trouble. Wasn't a lot of contact there. From the help defense, there wasn't. But you win some, you lose some.
And James connects on his first free throw of the afternoon. Five-point lead now for Jackson State.
The season has gone by so quickly. It's amazing that 3 days from now we'll be talking about who's going to the NCAA tournament.
No doubt. And bodies hit the ground hard. Jamarcus Jones, I mean, he fell directly on that hip.
Nicholas he didn't get the worst of that play, but he took a beating as well. You see his high post to low post, head fake, spin, and he rode his shoulders, cleared his head. You see the three defenders collapsing on Nicholas, and this may be a game where Nicholas is just going to have to get his points at the free throw line.
No doubt.
Because they're beating him up down low.
Trying to look for his 4th point of the afternoon, and he gets it. Both teams are struggling from the field. Combined, they're 0 for 7 so far in the second half.
Yeah, we talked about creating that energy and maintaining that continuity coming out from the locker room. And it's been a struggle for both teams here.
That one goes high. And rebound now for Texas Southern. Etienne goes strong, but a good stop right there by Wilson. Able to get strong defense by Darian Wilson.
Yep, we're going to have a foul on the play.
And McKinnis is called for the foul. Wilson was the first person there to really alter that shot.
McKinnis closed in. They're going to say he got him. Watch the replay here. Penetration from the left side. Oh, okay, it was on the rebound. McKinnis pushed him in the back. It wasn't on the shot. Watch him push Gresham here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just 2 hands right in the back. So good call by the official.
Lawson, 3-point attempt doesn't go, and there's another foul. And it looks like that one would be against Gresham, and Gresham can't believe it.
Johnny Jones, he's not too happy about it either.
And Johnny Jones is really talking to the officials. And that's the 4th foul on Bryson Gresham. Gresham will have to sit down, and Coach Jones really doesn't like to see that.
And he's not the most animated of coaches, but when he gets up and he's fired up, and it's usually for good reason from his vantage point. But this is just going to be a physical game. There's a lot you don't have to let go with these two front lines.
Evans trying to do a putback, can't do it. Lawson gets the rebound, gets it over to Etienne. Etienne driving in, hits the front side of the rim and won't fall through. And McKinnis once again right there with the rebound.
Nicholas wasn't even able to make it back on offense. And another player got entangled. His shoe came off. He just stayed back on this end. He was pretty upset about that.
Both teams really exerting a lot of energy, but not a lot of points scored so far. McKinnis.
Here we go.
Running out of time there. And should be a
that he had against J-Mac there in Texas Southern with the ball coming back.
Now let's see if all of those conversations turn into points for Texas Southern as P.J. Henry trying to get the call from Johnny Jones. And now we're seeing a little bit more movement offensively for the Tigers from Houston. And Henry shoots a 3, doesn't go. Rebound, Jackson State.
And we've had a free throw contest here in the second half, and not surprising, we have 2 of the top rebounding, 2 of the top defenses in the league. To have a rough in our first actual field goal in the second half, to have a really rough and muddy game is no surprise.
Basket for the Tigers of Jackson State. They expand their lead now, 37-32. Etienne trying to find an opening. McKinnis right there to shut the door. Henry trying to find somebody open. Etienne for 3, and it doesn't go. Good job by Walker to keep it alive. Lawson, he's going to push it in, and finally we have a field goal after about 7 tries for Texas Southern. Now 37-34.
Yep, and I told you, on offense, when you need somebody to just put their head down and go, Lawson is your guy.
James now surveying the landscape of the court, trying to find someone. Now they get it to McInnis. And McInnis, jump ball, great job there by Carl Nicholas to get the jump ball on McInnis.
It's going to stay with Jackson State, but that's the matchup where Nichols is earning his money today. One-on-one with McInnis. McInnis is just, look, he's going to power through you. He's going to jump over you. He doesn't have a whole bag full of moves with the ball, but Nicholas is holding his own last couple of possessions.
Evans needs to shoot it. Less than 2 seconds. McInnis, desperation. It doesn't go. Rebound. Texas Southern quickly to Nicholas, and he misses the dunk. He misses the dunk.
He was too far under the rim when he caught the ball.
Double teaming now.
It's been a real fun matchup to watch, even though it hasn't been the prettiest game offensively from an efficiency standpoint.
It's like Mississippi mud. It's thick. It's hard.
It's even kind of taking the Jackson State fans out. They were pretty loud here a few minutes ago. They've been watching like what's going on.
Evan gets it blocked, knocked away by A.J. Lawson for Texas Southern. This is sort of like a heavyweight boxing match in which nobody really gets knocked out. You just see a lot of body blows. Wilson to try to inbound it. Gets it to McInnis, but not before the shot clock.
I feel like that. That horn was going off as soon as he caught the ball.
Wilson will sit down, and Taylor comes in. 7 turnovers so far for Jackson State.
Now, on offense, Walker can change the complexion of this because he doesn't have to score in the paint. He can extend on the perimeter and maybe draw some of those big bodies out of the lane for the Jackson State defense.
Etienne going strong inside over McInnis. Doesn't fall. McInnis with the rebound again.
But you saw how McInnis changed that shot and got the rebound. That won't show up as a block, but he changed the intentions on the shot.
Message to your mind. That's what he did. You'll think about it next time.
Oh, he was thinking about it that time.
Lewis from the charity stripe, and he gets it to go in. Lewis Jr. 39-34, and yes.
McInnis draws so much attention on the block, he can find himself open after the defensive rotation. He hit that last shot. Those type of shots are really key for this Jackson State offense.
Trying to get it into McInnis.
Oh, Walker fell down. He could have had a bucket there.
Could have. Steal now by Henry, and Henry's going to push it up. Tries to go into another gear in the paint, but Etienne will get the ball and now slow it down just a tad. Lawson trying to find an entryway. Rosas smartly will give it back to Henry with 10 seconds on the shot clock. McInnis way out on the perimeter. Henry gets around him but can't score. Walker really can't get a shot off. And now loose ball. James is taking it and got it swatted away by Henry.
Team transferred in from U of H, where he was on that team that played in the Final Four. So he has experience on the biggest of big stages in college basketball.
No doubt. Jump shot doesn't go. McInnis again with the rebound. It doesn't matter who puts it up. If it gets loose, he's going to get it and put it back in.
And that's his offense. You want to see more of that if you're Jackson State, as opposed to him trying to create his own shot directly out of the post. When he can get an offensive board and just power it back up, pretty much unstoppable.
And now foul called on Taylor. Dylan Taylor, his second.
Jackson State with a 4-point lead, and it's been a tight ball game all afternoon. These teams split during the regular season. Last time out, Texas Southern got the better of them with the full lineup. Kind of had some COVID issues that first time around when the Jackson State got their win.
Etienne, and he misses. Rosas with the putback, and he gets it right at the buzzer. Yahuza Rosas, and first back-to-back bucket for these teams since about the 9-minute mark in the first half.
Texas Southern ended up getting the bucket, but again, you saw how McInnis changed that initial shot. You just try to come up with creative ways not to get it blocked going into the lane.
McInnis trying to go up against the shorter Rosas. Rosas using his active hands, alters the shot just a little, Walker with the rebound for Texas Southern.
And those are harder shots for McInnis, and the ones that you want to see him take if you're Texas Southern, as opposed to offensive putbacks.
Oh, Rosas couldn't do the putback. McInnis loses it, kicks it out, and now Evans on the break. Good job there by McInnis.
He makes everything look so special when he does it.
Yes.
He just jumped up in the air and threw it at the last second, fall and slid.
10 seconds on the clock. Taylor trying to find somebody open. Evans. And he throws it quickly to Henry, and now on the break, he's going up strong, and called for the block is Taylor. And Henry will shoot two.
You know, that previous play by Jackson State, turnover, passing the ball out on the lane. Look, you got McInnis. Just get it up on the rim. He'll go get it. Even if it's going to be a bad, ugly layup, just get it up there. Instead, you get Texas Southern coming back the other way. Chance to make some free throws as James gets turned around and get the blocking call there.
Henry makes the first. Now checking in, Darian Wilson for Jackson State. And having a seat is Taylor. Trying to tie it up. And Henry does it. We're all tied up at 41. 9 minutes, 36 seconds left to play in regulation.
Texas Southern has just played these type of grind them out, coming down to the last possession type of games all year long in conference play. So they're no stranger to being in this moment right now.
Inside to Lewis. Lewis misses the entire goal. Rebound Rosas, and ATN's going to try to push it.
Again, we talked about the importance of Lewis being able to connect on those shots. McInnis draws the double team, kicks it out to a cutting Lewis, and he just missed it all there.
And Lewis definitely wanted to have that opportunity back. Now inbound by Rosas, gets it over to Henry. Oh, the ball gets loose. Lewis gets the ball, and the most recent infraction is that first infraction that he most likely regrets.
Oh yeah, the priors will get you.
Less than 9 minutes to play, all tied up at 41 apiece. Now the task goes to Dylan Taylor to be the floor general, along with Evans.
So he doesn't have to leave the floor. He can stay on the bench, but he's not going to be allowed to come back into the game.
Evans tries to do a putback. ATN able to swipe it away, gets it over to Henry, and now Taylor swipes it away. Evans gets the ball back, trying to go aggressively to the rim, and Etienne smartly gets a jump ball, and it goes to Texas Southern.
Yeah, the freshman there, Evans, he had the momentum, but he did not have the numbers there. You might want to see them kind of pull that one back out and set the offense. Probably got away with a little travel under there, but it ultimately ended up in the jump ball. See there, look, that was three of them, one of him.
Correct. Walker trying to create, and wow, high off the glass, and John Walker III gets the lead for Texas Southern. First time since early in the first half.
And Walker was feeling himself in the first half. He's feeling himself in the second half, shaking his head coming back down court, saying, they can't stop me.
McInnis.
He's been able to do it inside and outside.
Able to make a three-point play, and McInnis unable to do it. Walker with the rebound, gets it over to P.J. Henry. All tied up at 43. 30% shooting for Texas Southern with points so far. Not their best shooting day, and Walker will go to the line and shoot 2. The Tigers not having a good shooting day, but they can earn it at the line.
And on that play, things did not go the way they wanted it to go. Walker was looking to come back with a little bit of a dribble handoff there, but his teammate wasn't coming, so he had to take that upon himself to make something happen, and it's going to the free throw line.
Walker now with 12 points, making his first free throw.
He was talking to P.J. Henry after that play. He was maybe going to set up a little pick and roll with the handoff there, but Henry went to the corner instead.
Can't get the second one. Rebound Jackson State. And looks like we've got some perspiration on the floor. And even the players trying to hurry up and get that done. Darian Wilson. He's trying to quickly get that up so they can continue play. He said, I don't want this momentum to stop.
Yeah, no, they want to have some flow and continuity here, because who's going to step up here in the last 7.5? It's not a tied game, but just a one-point game. And the officials are saying, I will say, when we start here.
And now we're underway. 7:30 and counting here in regulation. 1-point lead for the Tigers from Texas Southern.
Talk about the Jackson State offense. James is not going to come back in. Who's going to step up? Will Terrence Lewis be able to make some shots? He has had opportunity. You see a foul here.
Dylan Taylor fouled by Henry.
It's just a reach in by Henry there. Easy.
Fourth foul on him. And Taylor misses the first. And so far today, that was his first free throw attempt.
You start to count now. I mean, they always count, but you really start to feel these misses in a tight game like this. Want to convert every time you can at the free throw line.
Connects on the second to tie it up again at 44. Gilliam. Gonna try to slow it down just a tad. ATN finds Nicholas. Backdoor connection and a dunk with an exclamation mark.
You kind of threw the question out there. Would we finally see that effort rewarded on the part of Nicholas? And when they needed the most, there he is.
Push on Gilliam. And it'll be a 1-and-1.
Texas Southern fans thought that was a trap ball, but they get the push instead. You see Nicholas just cut there, and McInnes is late rotating over, and he tried to challenge down low, but Nicholas already airborne.
It was those backdoor cuts that helped them beat Florida during the regular season early on when Florida was ranked in the top 20.
Big win on the road in Gainesville. And every year, Texas Southern is either going to knock somebody off or scare the bejesus out of them.
No doubt.
With that tough schedule they play every year out of conference.
And Taylor once again ties it up at 46.
And Taylor making amends at the free throw line, getting both of those to go there. Etienne for Texas Southern's had a bit of a quiet day by his own standards. He only has 5 points here. He's been able to hit some big shots all year long for the Tigers.
Etienne now with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Etienne with the floater. It doesn't go. Little contact there underneath. No call. Lawson gets it, and he's going inside against McInnes. He alters the shot and gets a slight block. Now Taylor trying to push the issue. But there is.
Stepped out of bounds.
He stepped out of bounds. And Ken Evans can't believe it. But when you're trying to shoot on that baseline, you've got to watch your feet.
Yep, Jackson State felt like they had a little momentum going there after the big block coming back the other way. But just the edge of the heels out of bounds.
That may be due to the fact this is a brand new court, beautiful court for the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Players got to get used to it. Walker, and he is fouled, and now all the Jackson State players are jumping up. And that call will go on Terrence Lewis.
But you have to admit, there's plenty of contrast between the playing floor, the sideline, and the baseline. It's start red and then brown.
No doubt about it. Walker.
See the foul here. Walker just a little upset because he had turned away from the basket going up. This is the first one here. All right, we got some people in the stands starting to get that nervous energy. They're standing.
Second free throw goes in and out. No points there for the Tigers of Texas Southern.
Texas Southern starting to go full court here.
Walker using a long arm. McKinnis gets it. Now he's going to give it back to Taylor.
That was a push there. He got away with one.
Long shot goes short. Gilliam with the rebound, and now he's going to push the issue.
And that offensive possession shows you where they missed James. They needed somebody who could take the ball, reset the offense, get out there and facilitate. It was a little topsy-turvy on that possession.
No doubt about it. Still tied at 46. Walker trying to go up against McKinnis, loses the ball, and now Taylor takes possession.
Smart move. Not to try to force it there. Pull it back out.
Every time they go up against McKinnis, it's sort of like I got to stop, think, and think again.
Because you can't go through him. You can't go over him. There's a reason why he's 3-time Defensive Player of the Year in the SWAC.
Evans going in strong, misses the entire rim. Nicholas with the rebound, and now Etienne in transition. Etienne, and that is a charge, no doubt. And Etienne is down on the ground, and he may be down because he's a little tired. That back and forth.
You saw that coming before the official even blew his whistle. That was a clear and easy call here. He tries to do he's going to do a little Euro over across your face, but his elbow came right across the defender's face. Did not clear him.
And Dylan Taylor does a good job of taking that charge.
Well, his jaw might disagree, but
well, not that's true.
There was no acting there. That was a smash across the face.
Lawson knocks it away. Henry picks it up. Going back the other way. Nice puppy jumper. And it goes in for the Tigers of Texas Southern. And they stop the clock because it looks like we've got some perspiration on the floor. And the official smartly going to stop it and dry it up before somebody can come back, because this back and forth has been moving at a high rate.
Yeah, that was had that loose ball scramble right there. Had a lot of bodies in that position. That's where the sweat comes from. You see the dive right there. McKinnis just slid all the way across the lane and coming back the other way. Nice pull up. 4-2 for Texas Southern.
Press now by Texas Southern. They call kick ball on Nicholas.
Nicholas is happy he didn't get called for a foul there. He can take the kick ball. You really have to be, if you're a Texas Southern fan, proud that Nicholas did not hold his head today. He missed his first 6 shots, but he gave you consistent energy throughout.
And it was a kick ball. They reset the shot clock. Taylor getting double teamed, but he gets it across midcourt. Evans, long three, and he misses everything, goes out of bounds. McKinnis couldn't save that one. And Texas Southern gets it back. That's just not the shot you want to take.
No. You were that open for a reason, because no one is worried that you're going to hit the 4-point shot here.
Walker gets it back to Henry. And now Etienne with 10 seconds on the shot clock. A.J. Lawson trying to find an opening.
He would hit Jones right in the breadbasket. Jones could have pulled up, but Jones does anyway.
Three-pointer doesn't go.
Henry, I'm sorry.
Lewis with the rebound. 3 minutes, 26 seconds and counting. Taylor trying to tie this up or take the lead. Get it over to Evans, and he's running around with the rally shot. But Lewis right there with the putback. Terrence Lewis Jr. with the putback. And now we're all tied up at 48, and now it's going to get good.
I told you, any buckets Lewis can give you are going to be important buckets. Those two right there tie it up.
Etienne trying to drive in and create. Oh, great shot, circus shot by Bryson Etienne.
Used the rim as a defender, came up on the right side, scooped it under, back on the left to finish.
Texas Southern with a 2-point lead. Taylor trying to create. Without Jonas James, 2 technicals, he's out of the game. Who will take the leadership role? Lewis misses, rebound, Walker for Texas Southern.
Not a bad shot because McInnis was in position to potentially rebound that ball. Lewis didn't get it to fall, and it goes in the way of Texas Southern.
Almost approaching 2 minutes left in regulation. Henry using his basketball skill, trying to keep Taylor away. Lawson spins, doesn't know where to go. Nice pump move. Oh, they missed the putback. And now, and no fouls to give. So every time they foul Texas Southern, it'll be a 2-shot opportunity.
Texas Southern showing some pressure.
Trying to get it to McInnis, and he gets an easy dunk. Brings him within 2.
Jackson State needed 2 special plays. One on offense, one on defense. There's your offensive play.
1:30 remaining. Round we go to Henry. Nicholas going to try to set up a pick. He can't. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Henry going in strong. And rebound right now with the hot hand. 6 points apiece here in the half.
This could be the offensive possession of the game for Jackson State.
Ball gets loose. Nicholas
and the
gets the loose
defensive
ball.
possession for Texas Southern as they create a turnover.
Less than a minute to play. 2-point lead for the Tigers of Texas Southern.
Not the end of the world. There's still some time. He had 2 techs, so you're going to have to do it without James. But first, you're going to have to get a stop.
Jones gets it over to Henry. 7 seconds on the clock. Henry's got to do something pretty quick. And he just throws up a prayer. Doesn't hit anything. Backdoor doesn't hit. Shot clock violation. And it'll be Jackson State basketball. Strong defense by the blue and white.
All right, so we said we needed 2 special plays from McInnis. He got you the dunk. He blocked the putback attempt here, which made the shot clock expire. Shot clock violation. 28 seconds. Is there anybody else that can step up here? Jackson State down by 2.
28.5 seconds left.
So they're going to...
And the officials are going to go for a review again. They need to take another look.
That seemed pretty clear that it was a shot clock violation because that ball did not hit the rim. We'll have to see what they're looking. Maybe they're checking to see if that ball grazed the rim at all. And it could be a timing issue here, too, when the shot clock buzzer went off. So we're at a stage in the game where each second is important. So they couldn't just be checking for timing here.
And it will be Jackson State basketball. Taylor will, looks like Lewis will inbound.
So you got two thoughts here. You try to go down to McInnis on the block and see if he can get something, or do you get somebody to get a shot, and if they miss, hope that McInnis can help clean up the mess?
Bryson Gresham back in for Texas Southern. He is on McInnis. Lewis is trying to find Taylor. He does. Taylor going in strong, bobbles the basketball, and is off his knee. Texas Southern takes possession.
And you hate to keep saying the same thing over and over, but the lack of your starting point guard is showing for Jackson State.
No doubt about it. 9.7 seconds left. Texas Southern with a 2-point lead. John Jones steps in. Lawson and Nicholas will go out, and looks like Johnny Jones will call his final timeout. And good job there. Strong defense by Texas Southern.
But you saw early on the penetration here, the ball just gets away from him. It's not even I mean, you can make the case that maybe the little bump that didn't get called there kind of forces the ball, Taylor, to lose the ball, but he just hasn't, he's not a guy that's made a living night in and night out in the SWAC on dribble penetration.
And it looks like it wasn't a timeout called by Texas Southern. Now it's the officials looking to see if it did go off the knee of the Jackson State player.
And they confirmed.
And they confirmed.
So you're going to either have to get a turnover on the force of 5 seconds, get a steal, or foul immediately.
And they're going to have to go the full length of the court.
And Texas Southern is just shooting 66% from the free throw line.
And you don't want to foul P.J. Henry. He is 4 of 6 from the free throw line. If you're a fan of Jackson State, you don't want to foul P.J. Henry.
And our first appearance from Malachi Wideman, star wide receiver. Hasn't had a lot of minutes the last couple of weeks. Goes for the steal. He doesn't get it. Time is ticking here.
And a foul is called. Taylor is called.
Get it done inside as well.
Player of the game presented by Mountain Dew. Evans, desperation three.